What's going on, everybody? My name is Mario. This is a channel all about amusement park type stuff, but mostly coasters. And I am not dead.
Let's talk about amusement parks, like rides, it rides in the dark. Rides right here, it rides all over, but mostly coasters, mostly coasters. We'll talk about all kind of things, but mostly coasters.
No, don't focus on my finger. Focus on me. That's me. Hello, I'm alive and it's sunny. And this is Roller Coaster Channel or something. Today, we're checking out Montezooma what is it?
Montezooma The Forbidden Fortress.
Okay, the is what I think was throwing me off. I wanted to say Montezooma's Revenge, but that's not what it is. But that's enough blabbering, let's go and ride the dang thing. That was surprisingly really freaking good. The thing that I was surprised by the most is that the forces in the loop honestly felt a tad more drastic than the old version, which is insane because that loop was definitely one of the more forceful loops out there. So for it to feel more forceful with this new version is crazy. I'm gonna be completely honest, I didn't expect anything ride experience-wise to be better with this new version. But yeah, the forces in the loop were stronger than I remember. And that could just be like a recency thing, of course, but I don't remember going backwards through that loop and feeling my face being pulled down. And that was definitely the case on both rides we've been able to get so far in the 4th row and the 8th row. So towards the middle / front of the train and towards the back of the train. Oh, and overshooting the station at the end. That's how it is designed to ride now. Previously, Montezooma would come to an abrupt stop in the station after going up the reverse spike, but now you overshoot the station and then do a little bit of an actual launch backwards, which I'd say overall I'm pretty indifferent to, but I guess it's a positive. Like the backwards launch to get back into the station is a bit quirky, and I guess you do feel speed for a tiny bit longer coming down from that spike. Theming so far, really enjoyed that. I honestly have not paid too much attention to like any of the concept art for this revitalized attraction. So all the theming that I saw was really good and caught me, I guess, a little bit by surprise that it was as many different sets as there were. And it all tied into the idea of this being a forbidden fortress, and like you shouldn't mess with the forbiddenness of the fortress or else you're gonna get dead, pretty much. Yeah? Yeah. Also, some effects on the launch I forgot to mention. Those were a nice little touch as well. Definitely more prominent from off of the ride, honestly, especially in the station. But during the ride too, it's a nice little touch. One of the additionally nice things about Montezooma's retheme is it fits the Fiesta Village area of the park a lot better than it did prior, including Jaguar's new-ish look. It all ties in together very well. Wouldn't you agree? I feel like you were probably just saying the same thing to your phone.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
We're both YouTubers.
It fits really well. It really does. It's cool.
I'm trying to think of what any of the actual drawbacks were. Oh, going up the reverse spike, I recalled the old Montezooma's Revenge giving a little bit of airtime. On this version, it's like a very, very light floating sensation. I didn't expect that to be nerfed at all, but it was. And that was never really the focus of this ride for me. That was kind of just like an extra little benefit that it delivered, and it doesn't do that so much anymore. Definitely at worst, I'd say a net neutral in trade-offs from on-ride experience, so that's awesome. And then you have the theming that is definitely a step up from where it was at before. I'd say the only thing in that department that bums me out a tiny little bit is the lack of the old sign and the snake on there. I felt that was super classic and cool, but overall definitely a huge step up in theming. We also did have to wait about 25 minutes for the first ride, which was not bad at all. This new version does have trains that have restraints that do go over your shoulders, so I was expecting that to, you know, take away from the experience potentially. It didn't really bother me, to be completely honest. I could tell they were there, but they didn't like dig into me or anything. These restraints seem to be significantly easier for them to check, which is awesome. They were cranking trains out. Second ride took a bit longer. Was it like an hour maybe total?
It was about 40, 45.
45? Okay, not bad, but there was a significant downtime. And as we got off and wanted to try and get some footage, it's on about like 5 cycles since the downtime that we waited through. It has gone down again. So, you know, new ride problems, but this is officially open now. Just like literally out of nowhere, no announcement or anything. It is not a soft open. If it was a soft open, I'd be like, well, it's great that we got to ride it at all. But the fact that it's officially open, I feel like they've waited this long. Why not just soft open it, iron out some of the kinks a little bit more? Definitely does not seem to be the most reliable thing, at least on its first day of operation. I forgot that I get like a skip the line with every visit with a Prestige Pass, because it's been so long since I visited the park that I bought my pass for this year 8 months ago and haven't visited at all, which is insane. So we're gonna go use these on Sierra Sidewinder. We rode Sierra Sidewinder. It was fun. We spent most of the ride sideways, which sounds lame for a spinning coaster, but it was fun. Like hitting some of the banked turns, flipping towards the ground or flipping towards the sky was actually a really unique and fun experience. And we did get a little bit of spinning in there as well. So it was fun. And also not waiting forever on like a busy summer day was super nice. I'm just gonna dub it so that they can see me but hear what I was saying earlier. I don't know how much more we're gonna do. Montezuma has been closed for like a good hour plus. There were about 4 dispatches between the last downtime and this downtime, and we were lucky enough to be on one of the trains. So while I would prefer it be open, I am at least thankful that we got to ride it 2 times in the relatively brief visit we've had here so far. So now that we are indefinitely done with Montezuma for now, I'm gonna wander around the park and probably grab some food and figure out what the heck else we're doing. I just realized though, I've never been here for summer nights. It's cool. They got lights and music, and I guess it's a cool vibe, I guess. Me when I reply to their text, but I'm a little bit upset with them, but I still want them to know that I read their text. So I went to this place, and from my recollection, it's gone downhill quite a bit from when I was visiting Knott's a lot more frequently back in the day. And that would somewhat be reflected by the fact that there's almost nobody in line for this place, while there was a line out the door and around the corner for Panda Express. Got the tri-tip and macaroni and cheese. I'm gonna be honest, the tri-tip tastes like hot dog. Like, it's fine. Like, I'm gonna eat it because I need to eat food. But one of my favorite things about Knott's was they had pretty good food around the entire park. And the only like criticisms I had about some of the locations was it was very basic, but like now the food is just like kind of not enjoyable here, and I know a lot of the options have been limited at other locations, so it's one of the not great things about the visit, I guess. Now, I guess we're gonna end the day with a night ride on Ghost Rider. I hardly know her. One of the things that's changed since I've last been here is required lockers for a handful of attractions, so this is my first experience with that. The lockers here at Ghost Rider.
It was.
You don't know what number it was, and there's no receipt.
Well, because I asked for a receipt and it didn't give me one.
Well, let's get a different locker.
Yep. Guess we're doing that.
You gotta put paper in the receipt hole because people like us aren't very smart and we forget. Time to put you in a locker because we gotta go on the ride. I would let that coaster marry my daughter. Wouldn't you?
Probably not. A little too rough around the edges, I think.
That's okay, so am I. I can relate. Holy moly. It is hot and the grease is hot and the wheels are spinning fast and it's been open all day, so it's fully warmed up. Holy moly, that thing was running fast. I would say that was like just about as good as it runs during my recollection of how it runs during Scary Farm, which is just a little literal to say, but a night and day difference. My goodness. In addition to the visuals of it being heightened at night, like the sense of speed and not being able to tell where you're going as easily, it just hauls. Like, my goodness, the difference in at least perceived speed between the like beginning of the day and the end of the night is just phenomenal. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Obviously you have all the good stuff that's there any time of day, like the fantastic laterals throwing you side to side, great airtime, but when it runs faster, man, every point of airtime is a little more drastic. Floater airtime on that big first hill is more sustained, a little bit more forceful. All the little pops throughout the second half of the ride is just yeeting you out of your seat, and then the drop off where the mid-course brakes used to be flings you out of your seat. My favorite part was the helix. I'm more of an airtime guy than a laterals guy myself, but just the out of control feeling whipping around, you know, over 360 degrees. And then there was one chunk that like tossed us up out of our seat, which was completely unexpected. And then we got airtime going into the brake run. Like, my gosh. That's not typically the case for that ride. Just that tiny little hill going into the brakes was even fantastic. So it was nice to get on that after a long while. That is a top tier coaster for sure. But yeah, that's going to do it for a quick little, very last minute visit to Knott's Berry Farm. Montezooma's Revenge was super cool to check out. One of the things that was promised in like some original promo material for it was varying launch sequences, including like launching backwards to start the ride. I do not believe that happened at all today, so hopefully that comes later as well. But for now, I'm tired as heck. Hopefully going to be making more videos, at least more than one a year. Outro.
Yeah, what about it?
Do it.
Me? Why?
I don't know.
Just like subscribe and stuff.
Hey Drew.
Look at that.
Hey Drew.
What?
This floor rocks.